Hi there, my name is Guidry, and I am going to be talking all about how your wedding photography prices are impacting your business in ways that you might not have thought about. Thank you so much for joining me today. Speaking of pricing, if you're interested in understanding how to determine your base price for photography, be sure to download my free guide in the links in the description. We're going to be talking about how pricing can impact more than just your profits. What do I mean by that? Prices are saying something about your wedding photography business. Pricing impacts your clientele because when you put out your prices, the clients that are booking with you are going to have decor, they're going to have planners, venues, all of those things that align with the investment that they're making in your photography. Secondly, your pricing is also going to impact where you're shooting. In that same vein of this photographer is going to be working with this client based on the overall investment, that's also going to determine where you're shooting. In the same way that if a client has a really high design style that will fit a high design venue, that's also the same way that the pricing will match the venue. They are going to look for photographers that fit the overall vibe, fit the overall pricing. There are, of course, exceptions to this, but oftentimes the photography investment is going to also match the tier of investment for the venue, for the planner, for the other vendors involved in the wedding. When you're working with a client, a lot of times, unless they place a really high priority on photography alone, which definitely does happen, maybe you're the most expensive vendor that they're working with, or you could be the least expensive vendor that they're working with, depending on what they prioritize. But also, oftentimes, the sort of investment range that you're seeing from your clients is going to match the investment level of the other vendors as well. Pricing is also going to reflect on your experience. So when you're first starting out and your prices are lower, your clients can expect that you're less expensive because you don't have as much experience, right? But as your experience level grows, your investment amount does too. And so that becomes a reflection on the amount of experience you have to your clients. If you're someone who's been photographing like I have for almost 15 years, my investment price is going to be much higher than it was when I first started because I have a lot more experience and knowledge to stand that pricing up against. That makes a huge difference. And so when clients are perceiving your prices, they're looking at what you charge for your business, they're understanding that what you're charging is based upon the experience that you have. And so you want to keep that in mind. I would not advise charging more than the experience that you have. You don't want to get into a situation where, you're photographing a wedding that you cannot back up with the experience that you have, and vice versa. If you have a lot of experience and you feel like you have an overabundance of work, you can't keep up, the supply is less than the demand, then at that point you do want to actually charge based on your experience and consider raising your prices because that's where your experience level is. Your pricing sets an expectation from the client. And so depending on where you are and how you compare to the market, depending on where you are and how you compare to the overall budget, that sets an expectation for your clients. So whenever I'm saying that pricing impacts more than just how much you make or your profits, it's because your prices are saying something to your clients. They're saying, hey, this is what the photography that I can provide for you is valued at. This is the photography price that you're investing in. This is the type of products that you're getting. And so all of those things are being communicated through your pricing. Another thing that pricing impacts is the referrals that you're going to be receiving. When you're getting referrals from other wedding planners and other photographers, they're going to have an idea of where your pricing falls within your market range. And so because of that, you will be receiving referrals that are a good fit for those clients, for those peers, for those other planners based on what you're charging. And so When you're looking to align yourself with other vendors and clients, you want to think about those numbers and how they fit into the overall market that you're serving. Another thing that's really important, which should be a given, is that oftentimes our clients are friends. And so when you are pricing your photography, you want to understand that the referrals that you're getting are a reflection of your pricing, and that unless one client was married almost 10 years ago, that your referrals are going to be based on what your prices are. And you want that pricing structure to be consistent. You want your clients to be able to refer you to their friends and to others getting married. And so your pricing needs to be a reflection of this idea that our clients will hopefully be giving us referrals in the future. And lastly, of course, would be your profit and your ability to sustain the business for a living. Our pricing is in place because unless you're pursuing photography as a hobby, it's a way for us to allow our businesses to thrive and survive so that we can continue to do what we love for a living. And so pricing our photography appropriately in a way that allows us to be profitable is very important. It's important because if we weren't making money as our livelihood, then we would have to get another job. I know for me, I want to do wedding photography as my sole full-time profession. I love what I do. I love my clients. I love the weddings. It is crazy to me sometimes that I get to do this for a living. And because of that, I want to always ensure that I'm not burnout, that we're able to manage our client calendar well, that we have a balance between work and life so that we can do a good job when we show up for our weddings. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're enjoying this photography-based content, be sure to subscribe. Thank you for your time and the space to share with you. I appreciate you. And wherever you are, happy shooting. I'll see you next time. Bye.